My content's not for kids!
Hello and welcome to Fantasy Known News, the real fake news. I'm Joseph March. Today's top story. Emperor Palpatine announced his return to life via TikTok. Critics initially thought this move unorthodox, but it has apparently already spread to every corner of the galaxy. He also tweeted his return saying simply, "I'm back, bitches." In response, Freddy Krueger replied that Palpatine was stealing his earlier tweet, "Welcome to my new nightmare, bitch." Always up for one-upping Freddy, Jason Voorhees tweeted a string of ... with a picture of him wearing a hockey mask. This internet beef was so big it attracted the attention of former captain of the Starship Enterprise, Jean-Luc Picard, who said, "Any storyline that requires a clone of one of the original cast in order to prop up a suitable villain is one not worthy of a fan's time," adding, "And yes, I'm quite aware of Nemesis. I stand by what I said." In entertainment news, former head general of the Limbo Imperial Military and notorious mass murderer, Lord Dekildor, recently released his podcast series, Dekildor Investigates, where he reviews a piece of news or a video online and reacts to it. The second episode, in which he gives his opinions on Mark Passio's views on anarchy, will be available online Friday via the Joseph March Patreon. Interesting anecdote, a portion of that headline was not fantasy news. There really will be a new episode of Dekildor Investigates released this Friday. A rip in space-time opened up in Manhattan earlier today, causing the movie Shazam starring comedic legend Sinbad to simultaneously exist and not exist. After the tear was closed, the movie seemingly erased from history, leaving in its place an even worse movie called Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal. Also in the news, it's been 2 ages since legend tells of the Dark Lord Sauron's defeat by the destruction of the One Ring. But he's back, opening a new social media site, One Eye. He aims to dominate the internet world. Apparently, you can open up any camera on any of your friends' phones at any time, simply by pressing the I See You button. And then, it directly shares theirs and your data with the new CIO of Cambridge Analytica, Wormtongue. More news in a minute, but first, let's take a look at the wild world of sports. The Quidditch Cup was delayed, possibly indefinitely, due to an outbreak of the butterbeer virus. Fans are enraged because this was the first year Hufflepuff stood a solid chance of getting into the finals. Members of the Blitzball League got together today to mourn the death of Titus, saying, with the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, no one will be playing Final Fantasy X anymore. In economic news, Gargamel, founder of Azrael's Jellies, known for his delicious blue jams, announced the end of the product line today. It seems that whatever the secret ingredient was that made that, has been hunted to extinction. In international news, Paris was besieged with tragedy today when the Eiffel Tower fell, crushing many innocent bystanders. But the damage and death was reversed by the power couple Ladybug and Cat Noir, who used their powers to defeat the evil Hawkmoth once again. This damage was fixed by the power of the miraculous Ladybug, which allows them to rewrite time and space. When asked for comment, Cat Noir replied only using cat puns and then shit in a nearby sandbox and tried to cover it up. Now for the weather. Winter is coming, but does anybody care? The old stories tell of walkers across the wall, dead men and women coming back to life. But honestly, one 16-year-old going through her independent phase should be enough to take them out. In local news, local crackpot psychopop Sorcerer was demonetized from all major video sharing sites, but he claims this was a plot against him by the triad. We here at Fantasy Known News assure you his claims are laughable and not to be taken seriously. I'd like to take a moment now to thank one of our biggest sponsors, IllumaCorp. May you always shine down upon the meek with your scraps and meager droppings, O Lords of Light. As always, Fantasy Known News would like to thank the Circle of Magi. We would also like to thank all of you watching at home. And remember, if it's not fantasy, it's not the news. Good night, everyone.